I do believe that at some point we will all have an AI assistant in the living room to whom we have conversations about what we want to watch. Maybe Claude is integrated with my TV and I tell Claude, show me an episode of House of Cards, and it will automatically play it on the TV. So maybe the aggregator of the future is my AI assistant.
Welcome back. This is Marion Ranchet. I'm the founder of Streaming Made Easy. I'm doing a video series in partnership with Bango on one of my favorite topics, super aggregation, curation, bundles, however you want to name it. And with me, I have someone amazing, someone that I'm always speaking to about this topic. This is Vincent Stevens. Hello, Vincent.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
So Vincent, you are VP Entertainment?
Yeah, fancy name, but basically I take care of the entertainment business of Telenet, which includes all the content acquisition, the strategy, and taking what used to be very classical linear TV into the new streaming age. So interesting times.
Yeah, you must be having fun.
Fun, yeah, that's what I always say. Without a challenge, we don't have a job. And there's a lot of challenges now in the entertainment world. So a lot of change, which obviously is exciting because we need to evolve. We can't just stay a linear TV provider. We need to evolve with our clients, with the industry. And that's exactly what we're doing.
And so you have two ways of doing bundles. You either bundle connectivity, which is mobile, internet, and entertainment. So you are what we call in Europe a telco.
Yeah.
But you also bundle entertainment, within entertainment. What are you seeing right now in the space, right? When it comes to aggregation, are you feeling, hopeful, threatened? What's going on? What's on your table right now?
No, I think it's something I said yesterday to you as well. Telcos have always been aggregators. We've historically done aggregation of broadcast or linear channels, but it's our core business. Yeah. We license content, we package it in a bundle, we sell it to customers. Now what happens is that obviously the bundling of linear TV channels is diminishing with cord cutting, but there's new services we can bundle, the OTTs services, and that's what we're doing. So our strategy is to include a lot of these OTT services by putting the app on our box, integrating with metadata, integrating with billing through our partnership with Bango, and creating a value enhancing layer on top of all these services, which we know very well because we are developing a platform historically for TV, but we're evolving that to incorporate the OTTs. So if you're a Netflix, Disney, Streams, and HBO, we will put your app on our box. We will pull the metadata up. We will enable universal search. How do we do that? Well, we do that on multiple levels. First of all, we put the app on the box. So people that use our pay TV platform, they will see the app. But more than that, we integrate it with metadata. We enable universal search. When on the remote with voice search, you say, I want to see a movie from this actor, it will pull up all the metadata from partners. And in that way, linear TV becomes a service next to the other services. And linear TV, as you showed yesterday in the conference, is still very much the most important. So we're not ignoring that. That's still the core of our business. But we need to appeal to all the segments. And there will be segments that say, well, I like your box, I like your platform, but I don't need linear TV. That segment, we will also accommodate for soon.
So what you're trying to is having a flexible approach. So it's not about having this master bundle where people could get that frustration of paying for something that encompasses everything, but only uses a subset. So you're trying to be, a bit more, close to what people actually want. One thing that I've heard and read a few weeks back, you actually did a deal with YouTube Premium. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that. I mean, Evan, YouTube is the biggest service on smart TVs, and we don't dictate what our customers watch, or customers dictate us what they want to watch. And it's the biggest service on smart TVs. So we said, look, we put the client central. Clients want YouTube. We already had the YouTube app on the box, but Premium brings obviously some added benefits, no ads, continuous playing. And then we said, look, we need to be ahead of the curve. We integrate with premium. It's a platform in itself for customers, and yeah, we embrace evolution. So we launched it with a great campaign. YouTube was happy. We used a lot of local influencers to promote the content. It was a great campaign, great launch, and people loved it.
I think what I'm hearing here is you're really trying to, move as your, users, audiences are moving towards new business model, new go-tos, right?
Yeah.
Linear TV used to be the main, if not the only go-to. Optionality is kind of the new world we're in. I have to say that, ever since you guys started in that space, you've had a lot of new competitors. There's a lot of new contenders in super aggregation, whether that's, CTV platforms, YouTube themselves in a way.
Yeah.
It's a platform within a platform. Yeah. You are seeing broadcasters making moves, etc. Streamers are making moves too. What is it that you guys have that perhaps these guys don't have? What's your edge?
I think we have many. First of all, we have 20, 30 years of trust from our customers. When you look at our research, customers really appreciate our platform. Absolutely. NPS is sky high. But historically, the platform was always tied to a linear TV subscription, right? And that's where we came to the realization, or superpower is actually a platform that is really appreciated by people. People don't want to get rid of our platform. People want to evolve with our platform with or without the legacy linear TV for some subscribers, right? Yeah. And again, we're not ignoring linear TV. It's still the core of our business. So that's one. We have an installed base, huge distribution power, which obviously the partners, the OTT partners that seek to grow their base appreciate. Low customer acquisition, loved brand, existing distribution. And yeah, there's no...
Shops? Do you have shops?
We have a marketplace in which you can buy the services, both on our self-care app, but also in the TV environment, the TV shop we call it, where with the remote you can actively...
So you're an e-commerce, huh?
Yeah. We call it internally marketplace. Yeah. So we shop around for OTT services. You can change a tier and even actively stop a service. A little bit contentious because obviously we don't necessarily want the customers to stop their service, but in case they want, we make it not too complicated in a strategy of transparency and customer experience for customers.
So at the center of this platform, there's a set-top box, there's a device, right, that people plug to a TV, but we've seen it. Those TVs are no longer dumb like they were, right? They can actually connect themselves to the internet. So how do you make sure you're not being, replaced by those connected TVs? What's your, how are you protecting, the set-top box and staying relevant?
So we need to stay relevant. If we wouldn't change anything, we would quite fastly become irrelevant. But we don't do that. So we keep launching product feature. The universal search, as I said, swimming lanes across services, integrating with all the services in a technologically quite good way, right? The loading times are slow. Our boxes are IT-wise pretty high end, right? The startup times, the speeds are quite good. When you say smart TVs are no dumb, yes, but the fact remains that a lot of people in Belgium that have a smart TV is older models. The average lifetime of a TV is not 5 years, it's much longer. So if you run on a smart TV of, let's say, 2012, your experience with modern day apps is not gonna be great. And our box is pretty fast, I would say, compared to modern day smart TVs. Pretty good experience. So we feel very confident, and market research confirms that our platform is relevant. It is a gateway to enjoy your entertainment in an increasingly chaotic entertainment world. And the strategy is really worry-free entertainment. Everything in one place, billing in one place, recommendation in one place, discovery in one place, and we have rental movies, we have linear broadcast, we have BVOD, we have TVOD, we have OTT. So it's really a one-stop shop that we are building.
So there's a lot of contenders, but those are the usual suspect that, you actually work with many of them, which is quite fascinating, right? Because I'm sure you're working with broadcasters, you're working with streamers. Everyone you're working with has some sort of super aggregation play on the side, and yet wants to be distributed with you. I think one of the things that I've been thinking is that we're starting to see, and the report that Bango released says that, shows that there's, banks, retailers, new players, and one that is very important, and I think, you mentioned it when we spoke last, which is AI, LLMs. How are you seeing, that competition? How are you going to stay relevant with it within potentially that new ecosystem?
Yeah, and there's multiple aspects we can unpack. First of all, we do AI to create automatizations internally, the processes. We have a colleague that developed on our own a platform using Lovable, which really replaces a lot of manual processes. So I love that innovation. It makes us more agile, faster in our job. The second thing is, and that's an actual topic, it's marketing, right? Yeah. It's discoverability in an age where increasingly the young people use AI agents as an entry point to discover. We need to be there. We need to be discovered. If people say, what's a good telco for entertainment? I want Telenet to show up there. Sure. Because it's true, but also we need to make it happen, right? You need to feed the algorithm. That's two. Three is, I think, but now I'm a bit of a futurist. I do believe that at some point we will all have an AI assistant in the living room to whom we have conversations about what we want to watch. Maybe Claude is integrated with my TV and I tell Claude, show me an episode of House of Cards, and it will automatically play it on the TV. So maybe the aggregator of the future is my AI assistant.
Yeah, which I have to say, I can see that happening. I feel it's a bit scary in the sense that those are very new technologies. We're talking just a couple of years old, etc. And, with a lot of what we said here, we're talking bank details, we're talking, what we watch. There's a lot of data in there that I wouldn't want to have in, anyone's hand. So I do hope that if we end up having AI in the mix for everything within this video experience, in the background, folks like you, other streamers, broadcasters will have managed to still surface and exist. I don't want a black box.
No, we do that today, Marion. So our customer chatbot is already largely AI driven. We train models on all our briefing, our products, or on previous customer interactions, obviously anonymized. We run the models locally. And if today on the internet you chat with a customer chatbot, it's fully AI trained, and the quality is amazing. Our customers love it. We automate the first interactions and we humanize the more complex interactions. But AI is part of we need to do AI, and this is coming from the highest level. Our CEO mandates us to experiment, use AI, because if you don't do it, you will become a dinosaur.
Yeah, you'll be disrupted. Thank you, Vincent. That was awesome having you on. This is a wrap on another episode of our video series in partnership with Bango. We'll see you next time.